A sector that puts profits ahead of children's safety. That's the chilling finding today from a rapid review of Victoria's childcare industry. The review was commissioned after horrific abuse allegations emerged at multiple childcare centres in Melbourne. It's made 22 recommendations, including the creation of a new regulator to oversee child safety and strengthened checks for workers. The review was conducted by former South Australian Premier Jay Weatherill.
Well, joining us now is child safety advocate Hetty Johnston. Now, Hetty, thanks for your time. The Victorian Government has promised to implement all 22 recommendations. Will that be enough to restore parents' confidence in the system?
I think once the recommendations are actually acted on and implemented, then parents will feel comfortable. But until then, as I think the Premier said themselves, you know, there's no silver bullet here. But the recommendations are sound, they're good. They should have happened 10 years ago, but we're here. And I'm really happy to have read the documents to see what's going to happen.
You've been highly critical of the Working with Children check system. Will these proposed changes be strong enough?
I'm not sure whether they'll be strong enough or not. It'll depend on how much information, how much intelligence is going to go into the pot that feeds the check, the Working with Children check. So, you know, it's only as good as the information that it gets. And it's got to come from everywhere. It's got to come from health, it's got to come from education, it's got to come from child protection, police, you know, the redress scheme. It's got to come from anywhere that collects information about people who have acted inappropriately. And if they get that right, then people have a right to relax a little on it.
Now, Hetty, there were calls for things like CCTV to be mandatory in childcare centres. That didn't turn up in the review recommendations. Would you have liked to have seen it in there?
Yes, I think I would like to have seen it in there. I think, you know, what we've seen in all of these recent matters is that it is video footage that actually captures the people committing these crimes. That is what the police are able to act on to convict. So I think CCTV footage not only helps protect children, but it also protects the staff themselves if they're accused of something and they're not in the space that they were supposed to. I think it's just a really sensible thing to do. Offenders will always try and find to isolate children in places where there's no cameras and where there's no one seeing. They have to do that in order to offend. So the more visual coverage we have, the better.
Could that lead to a false sense of security, though, where then other staff members aren't necessarily keeping a close enough eye on their colleagues?
Well, I hope not. I think that comes down to training, which is the other problem, that needs to be really good, robust training. I mean, you can't rely on any one thing, but if people are properly trained, then they won't be relying on any one thing. So I think, you know, really good, robust training, like the Bond University training, is what should be happening.
I'm sure we'll be talking about this again in future. We're very grateful for your time today, though. Hetty Johnston, thank you.
Thank you for having me.